What if I told you that the next time you walk into an airport, maybe next month, maybe tomorrow, you might get charged a fee not because your bag is overweight, not because it's oversized, but because an airport scanner decided your luggage might cost the airline a few extra cents? Even if that's not actually true. And yeah, that sounds insane, almost like some dystopian travel theory. But the truth is, the 2026 airport baggage rules coming down the pipeline are so strange, so unpredictable, that even frequent flyers are getting blindsided. And that's exactly why travelers in the US and other major hubs are starting to panic quietly while pretending everything is normal. See, people think baggage rules change only when airlines update their websites or TSA posts new guidelines. But for the first time ever, the real changes are happening behind the scenes, inside smart belts, automated weight platforms, digital tag readers, and AI-driven probability systems that airlines don't want you to fully understand. Because if passengers knew how these systems really determine fees, trust me, folks would be flipping out way more than they're already doing. It starts with something called predictive load balancing, a not yet public but already tested system that basically guesses how much your bag might weigh later in the journey depending on humidity, aircraft temperature fluctuations, routing delays, and even how much other passengers' bags are expected to shift inside the cargo hold. And if the AI thinks your bag might become even 0.2 pounds heavier due to moisture absorption, yes, moisture absorption, airlines can add a microfee anywhere between $3 and $19, and most people don't even notice because those fees get bundled into operational adjustments at check-in, which is honestly one of the sneakiest things I've ever seen in aviation. And then there's this new friction-based movement risk rule no one is talking about yet, something developed by a European logistics firm but now being tested at 3 US airports, where your suitcase wheels get analyzed by a tiny vibration sensor built into some check-in floors. If the system detects your wheels might struggle or jam on certain conveyor belts, maybe because the wheels are old, maybe because they're too soft, airlines can add what they call a manual intervention surcharge, basically charging you because your bag might need a human touch at some point. And imagine telling a traveler in 2010 that one day they'd pay because their suitcase doesn't roll the way an algorithm thinks it should. It's nuts, but here we are. And what's even stranger is the pressure from newer aircraft models. In 2026, more mid-range jets are using cargo sensors that track exact weight distribution in real time, which means the older flat fee baggage system isn't compatible anymore. So now airlines are rolling out dynamic bin pricing, where your fees change based on which part of the cargo hold your suitcase is likely to be placed. And the mind-bending part is passengers have no clue their bag's position can add charges. For example, Zone C right above the rear landing gear has become more expensive because smart sensors say it strains the aircraft slightly more during turbulence. And airlines were losing money repositioning bags manually, so now, yeah, we pay for it. But here's where it gets even wilder. Airports are exploring something called behavioral baggage indicators, which sounds like a joke until you realize it means what you think it means. New smart cameras look for signs of luggage risk behavior, like when a traveler drags a bag roughly, drops it, sits on it to close it, or repeatedly shifts weight while waiting in line, and the system predicts whether the suitcase might burst open during handling. And if the risk percentage is high enough, passengers can get charged a containment reliability fee, which is basically, hey, your suitcase looks like it might explode with your clothes mid-flight, so pay us $12 to wrap it digitally. And that leads to another bizarre rule. Digital wrapping doesn't mean plastic. No, airlines now flag bags with a tracking note for baggage staff to handle them differently, and you pay for that digital flag. And while travelers complain about the usual things like overweight baggage fees, they have no idea these background systems are already installed in pilot programs at airports in Texas, Florida, Chicago, London, Dubai, and Seoul. And yes, some passengers have already paid these new charges without realizing it because airlines bury them under coded terms that look like random 3-letter abbreviations that nobody questions. But it gets even deeper when you understand how 2026 is forcing airports to evolve due to insurance pressures. Insurance companies are pushing airlines to reduce mishandled baggage claims by predicting which bags are claim likely. And that means if your suitcase has dents, worn-out zippers, faded straps, or mismatched replacement wheels, the insurance algorithm might tag your bag as high risk, and you get charged a pre-claim fee to offset potential damage liabilities, even if your suitcase survives the trip perfectly fine. So now people are being charged because their bag looks old, which is honestly wild but totally real. And then there's the humidity weight rule everyone's about to lose their minds over. Some airports will soon weigh bags at arrival, and if your bag has absorbed moisture, like from rain, fog, or even being loaded next to a recently thawed container, Airlines can charge post-flight weight discrepancy fees, arguing they carried extra weight they didn't bill you for. Imagine getting off a long-haul flight, exhausted, and seeing a $7 or $12 charge on your airline app. Moisture weight adjustment. And you're like, man, what? And speaking of long-haul flights, ultra-long routes are developing something called thermal shift expansion monitoring, which checks whether hot cabin floors or cold cargo areas cause your suitcase shell to expand slightly. And if the expansion pushes your bag into a higher size category, even just temporarily, you get charged for it. Meaning your suitcase can literally grow a fraction of an inch in extreme temperatures and suddenly cost you more money. But here's the kicker. The 2026 baggage rules aren't just about airlines. Airports themselves are getting in on it, creating something like a micro-toll system for bags that travel longer distances inside the airport. Sounds like a joke, but check this. Bags routed through longer conveyor paths due to security reroutes or mechanical delays get marked with microdistance surcharges, like a 40-cent fee here, a 75-cent fee there. And while it sounds tiny, multiply that by thousands of passengers, and airports are cashing in. Meanwhile, passengers don't even realize their bag has taken the airport equivalent of a scenic route. And let's talk about the new secondary handling penalty, which hits when bags are manually moved by staff due to AI detection errors or bag jams. You think passengers shouldn't be penalized for system mistakes, but airlines argue manual handling increases operational strain. So boom. Another fee for something you didn't cause. But the part travelers will hate the most, the part that's going to blow up all over social media in 2026, is something called passenger packing responsibility. A new rule where airlines can charge you if your bag has poorly distributed weight internally. Airports are testing scanners that detect whether weight inside your luggage sits unevenly, like shoes on one end and heavy toiletries on the other, and if the imbalance crosses a threshold, airlines claim it creates conveyor instability. So, yup, a packing imbalance fee. And nobody is ready for that because it basically means airlines are now judging how well you pack your own underwear. And beyond all this, the biggest secret in the industry right now is the rollout of something called baggage pre-clear scoring. A score assigned to each suitcase before you even reach the airport based on your booking history, travel patterns, and get this, how often you check bags, how often you switch airlines, how often you pack last minute, and even how many times you've changed seats. If your travel behavior suggests you're likely to show up with a heavier bag, guess what? The system can pre-assign you a high potential load impact score, which quietly raises your fees at check-in even before anyone weighs your bag physically, and you never even know it happened. So when 2026 comes full swing, travelers are going to start asking, why am I being charged more even though my suitcase is the same size and weight it always was? And airlines will shrug and blame system adjustments, because they won't tell you the truth, that baggage fees are entering a new era where it's no longer about what your bag weighs, but what algorithms think your bag might do, and how much they think you might cost them in the future. And as crazy as all this sounds, it's happening quietly, slowly, and almost invisibly. Until one day a regular traveler posts a TikTok saying they were charged because their suitcase might vibrate unpredictably, and the entire internet loses its mind. So maybe the real question is this: if baggage fees now depend on predictions, risks, sensors, humidity, will quality, and packing symmetry, what's left that travelers can actually control anymore?